So this is going to be an update about how to fix your lag and stutters on OBS or StreamLabs. So they're basically the same thing. But for as of right now, I'm going to do an example on StreamLabs. I am recording on OBS. They're basically the exact same settings. I also want to go over like the whole keeping like 144 hertz. You want to keep your FPS or whatever. That's going to be a little controversial and a little hard to do without having a capture card. If you want to save that FPS, you need a capture card without any effect. But with these settings, like, I mean, as soon as you start your Streamlabs or whatever, you start streaming, you're going to lose FPS regardless. So let's just say you're getting 144 FPS, but as soon as you start streaming, you're losing 20 FPS. The reason why is because you're using either your GPU or your CPU at the same time. But if you want to stop the lag, here's my settings. So we're gonna click the settings here, go to output. It should be the same on OBS as well. That's my thing, my settings. And the main problems we're gonna talk about is the encoder and the bitrate. Recording, also gonna be the same thing. Okay. We're gonna talk about the encoder, bitrate. We're also gonna go to video. We're gonna talk about the FPS types as well. So, but as of right now, we're gonna talk about the encoder. So the Nvidia Nvenc is for my Nvidia users, of course. The reason why you want to pick this one is because this one's GPU intensive, but X264 is CPU intensive. So if you're one of those people that have a very, very powerful CPU, I would recommend using X264, even for AMD users mainly. But like X264 doesn't have really good quality when you're streaming. But if you're stuck with AMD, you have to use this one. With Nvidia users, Nvenc is a little bit different because Nvenc has its own little storage. What I mean by that is basically this. I was going over an example. So Nvenc has its little own storage that's specifically for streaming and recording. So that it's not using this, but it's using, I mean, it is using a little bit of this, but like, let's just say this part right here is this part. I don't know how to explain it too well, but it's its own little storage. That's pretty much all you have to know. So it's not gonna take out so much of your FPS when you're playing games. And bitrate. Now bitrate is Wi-Fi intensive, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong, but my Wi-Fi upload speeds and download speeds are 900, and I could use 9,000 if I wanted to, but 6,000 is the sweet spot for most people. But if you're one of those people that have really slow Wi-Fi, I would say just try to adjust around 3,000 to 5,000. To test out your download speeds and upload speeds, I would recommend going to speedtest.net and check that out. It'll tell you your upload speeds and download speeds. Next one. So for the common FPS values, I mainly have mine at 60. But for a lot of users that don't have capture cards, I would say, or just a lot of users that don't have like really good graphics cards, I would say, like use 30. But this goes to the main problem too for stutters and lags. It would like if you're playing Call of Duty and your in game is like on your FPS in game stuff would be on like unlimited. I would recommend taking that off and just cap it at in 30s. So what I mean by in 30s is that if you're, let's just say you're at 144 mainly, you want to cap your stuff at, so let's say you had 140, right? Or 144, right? You want to cap your in-game to 120, okay? That, because this FPS values is in 30s, so it's gonna be streaming in 30 FPS, and it's gonna be smooth. It's gonna stop the lag and everything. So, but then your in game has to match up with the 30s, right? So it'd be like 30, 60, 90, 120. So for me, when I had a 2060 Super with a Ryzen 7 2300 or something like that, it was low. It was like a low low end CPU. So I struggled with the FPS, and then I figured this part out where you had to cap your stuff out. And so when I was playing games, I was getting like on average like 120 to 130 without streaming. But then as soon as I started streaming, I lost like 20 FPS, and I had 110 and 100 average. And so if you're getting that amount of FPS from just starting your stream, you have to cap it out at a certain spot. And for me, at that point, with 120 capping my in game, had to be right here. It had to be right here, or it could be less than that, which would be like 90. But you want to test those between. You want to test the low and you want to test the high. Okay, so for most users, but let's just say you're at 144, and as soon as you start streaming, your average is 122. Cap your in-game at 120, and you can put this at 60. That way, when you're streaming, it streams at 60 frames per second. Can you go higher? Yeah, but it also depends on your monitor. So let's just say your second monitor is 144. Then you could put this a lot higher by fixing this part, the fractional integers or the integer, or FPS, my bad. I'm sorry. And then but for me, I couldn't do that because my second monitor is at 75 hertz. So I couldn't go any higher than that. So if you're one of those guys that have two monitors, but one monitor is 144 hertz and the other monitor is like 60 hertz, then you're gonna have to keep it around here. But to fix that too as well, sometimes it could be having dual monitors that would mess up your stat, like your lagging, your stuttering, and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna right click, show more, go to Nvidia, control panel, of course, and then you go to adjust desktop size and position. You want to put the perform scaling on GPU, and this is my main monitor, 144, and this is my streaming monitor, 75 hertz. So you want to put it on GPU. This is my gaming capture card. So when I use my gaming capture card, it doesn't take any FPS away. Well, it helps a lot more, I would say. So that is changed, and then yeah, I would say those are the main problems. And if it helps you out, I hope it does. I can't help out everybody, but let me know if I'm missing anything, or just correct me if I'm wrong about certain things. Just if it does help you out, please give it a like and subscribe. That's pretty much it.